And welcome back for another game of Runewars, the miniatures game. Here we go for our second game from the weekend just gone, and a long-awaited rematch against the Uthuk against Conor. Conor is brand new to the game. These were his first few games of Runewars at all, so let's see how he does. Here's my list, same as in the previous game. If you want a full breakdown, go check that one out. Conor's list was a big block of berserkers with the war sprinter and a cacophony reaver, I think. The ones where you charge for funsies and you get the extra skill move based on unstable runes. 2 units of flesh rippers with dead sprint, 3 single spine threshers, and Kethra with shield of Margath and Kingsbone armor. And this girl is absolutely nuts. Just if you hit her, you take damage. If you're near her, you take damage. If you sneeze anywhere near her, you take damage. If she wants you to, you take damage. So we'll see how that goes. I forgot to take a picture of deployment and objective, but we were playing the objective where we place flame tokens, whatever they are, and the whole battlefield catches fire and muxes up in flames. There we go. And standoff is the deployment. So we're playing on a very lovely Armada space mat. Ooh, fat thumb. And here we are after deployment. So I've got my big unit of cav on one side, Scion, big unit of archers, Aliana facing out this way. I've sort of tried to split him with this piece of terrain and protect my flank with this one. Scion and cav here. You'll see the first flame that he's placed is down here. I think I've placed mine up here. So here we go, turn 1, 4 reds. Now normally I'd say that doesn't really match on turn 1, but against Uthuk, oh yes it does. So he goes with the flesh rippers and boom, they're in my face straight away. I'm like, oh yeah, that was fast. So I'm a bit more gentle and shuffle this Scion up into the middle. Basically I'm trying to stop anything huge hitting me too early. And in he comes with his flesh rippers, and I'm again like, uh-oh, and now wishing I'd dialed in a late charge or something with my cav. But thinking that the Uthuk at some point were probably going to charge in, I dialed in a shoot with these guys, and boom. Honestly, on fairly average dice rolls, I mean especially with double red runes, I can quite easily get about, well, I must have done 12 damage. What would that have been? 2 hits with a threat of 3, that's 6, 4 runes. Let's just quickly go back. What were the runes? No green runes, so I must have actually lucked out and got the double hit on the fire rune. He'd gone careening up with his berserkers, who now collide with the tree, getting immobilized and a panic for their troubles. So having said that, maybe he doesn't have the war sprinter. I can't remember exactly what the upgrades are because he didn't attack based off this. So yeah, this tree here shifts around a bit. Aliana's just repositioning to try and protect my valuable machine guns here. These guys go up and sort of reform. I'm just trying to protect this zone here, stop the spine thresher from coming in, and he's just sort of shuffled and reformed his spine thresher around a bit here. And after much manoeuvring and shenanigans, this is the table at the end of turn 1. You'll see Kethra's come in to put loads of pressure, facing each other off, these two, and I've still got a unit of dogs here to deal with. So turn 2, 2 reds, 2 greens, 2 blues. Brilliant, just what I like. So I dial in an early charge with my cav, take half this unit off. Pretty chuffed with that. He attacks with these guys. Now I'd actually been able to, so early on in the turn I rallied and armoured up. So with the runes the way they are, I'm armour 4. So he attacks, doesn't dial in the hit, because I think what he's hoping to do is wipe the tree out and then go charging forward. I'm not sure how that would interact with the immobilize, but it doesn't come up because essentially he only does 1 wound to the tree. This guy comes rushing into my cav. Doesn't charge, but it does stop them from doing anything. These guys open fire and, as you can see, decimate the berserkers. Lots of panic being handed out by the spine thrasher as well, annoyingly enough. And you'll notice that the fire is creeping up as well. I dialed in shifts with these guys, so they just shifted back. I did, I think, shift backwards away from the spine thrasher. Didn't like that. Aliana, because of reasons, decides to pop herself into the terrain. And then he brings Kethra in. I think I just wanted to get out of Kethra's way because she's not particularly pleasant. These guys, this tree here over on the left has shot and done another couple of wounds. The dogs here, every little bit helps. I want to clear them out as quickly as possible. And here we go. This is what life is looking like at the end of the turn. I think my tree swung and killed a couple of berserkers as well. The spine thrashers are moving in slowly but surely. My cav, couple of panic here. We're ready to go in, and this goal here has got me fairly worried. To turn 3, only 1 blue, so my trees are fairly squishy. I do an early charge with my cav and do a couple of wounds on the spine thrasher. My tree has again rallied early and armoured up. And Kethra goes in and just goes whomp, because she collides with me, so I take a load of damage, and then she hits quite hard in the flank with the extra dice and this and that, takes off the tree, takes off a load of archers. These guys finally kill off the kill off the last of the dogs, but by attacking they take some damage as well. Berserkers go and kill the tree. Unfortunately, they had enough left in the tank to kill him, but he did his job rather, and kept them busy for a good long time. These guys shifted and reformed, and now I don't know why I still presented my flank here, but shifted away and reformed, hence the panic. You'll notice here he's taken a wound, and Aliana's come round here. I feel like I'm in a very good position here because these guys can't hurt me this turn because I'm doing 2 damage to my armour of 3, and it's very difficult for Kethra to get away. This guy sort of shifts and moves without scuttling horror. They're actually quite slow, spine thrashers. I didn't realise this. And this is what the battlefield looks like. Unfortunately, the Leonks aired a bit too close to the fire, which did a wound to the tree and a wound to them, and a couple of berserkers have gone as well. And here's what we're looking like. Oh, I think I didn't take a picture of the runes this turn. So anyway, early on, Kethra decides to go in and just, annihilates most of this unit, but crucially didn't have the hits, I think, to take out Megan outright. But Aliana goes in and just obliterates her. Boom. Taking a wound for colliding with... no damage there because it was 2 damage. So, yep, just went in and, took her off. These guys attack early and are able to pit the last couple of wounds off the spine thrasher, who'd taken 1 from the fires earlier on. My tree charges the spine thrasher just to try and keep them busy, and somehow this guy charges in the flank. I think a turning charge means I hit him here. Actually turns out to be a terrible idea. Shoot with the archers, and even with just 2 trays left between her and the fire rune, they just take off the last 3 archers. It's just a silly unit. Down to the last tray, they just wreak absolute havoc. And here's what we're looking like. Into turn 5, 2 reds, 2 greens. That's all I need. The machine gun is locked and loaded. Except the spine thresher kills my tree. Isn't that nice? Aliana's trying to reform. We sort out this flank over here. We do a bit of tidying up after the last few turns, but not a lot really happens. I think I must have stopped taking pictures. I'm fairly sure he kills that Leonx there, and I'm able to bring this guy around, these guys around, and just take him off. So when we add it all up, I got 200 BPs, full points for his army. He'd killed about half of mine overall, between the trees and the small Leonx, and I can't remember where his other points came from. Oh yeah, the entire unit of archers. I still had most of the upgrades, but yeah, that was a big chunk of points gone. Still, a win is a win. Relatively happy with it, although it was Conor's first game. But I think he played well with the Uthuk, who he did admit that their speed did actually catch him out. So you, especially given his sort of MSU list, you can't actually just run them forward and things will just work. You know, he fed me a unit of dogs in the first turn and then another one afterwards. I think he surprised himself with the way his units interacted, the order in which they wanted to go, and just how fast they could be, and then being left isolated. But over the weekend, he did well. He got a really good win against the Waikar, and I think had a really bloody game against Rebecca's Deccan, which resulted in, I think, 2 cav and carry being left, or just 2 cavalry models being left, and then Kethra and a dog or something. So they absolutely hammered each other in that game. So, but I'm happy with that. A win against Uthuk is always a good win. I'll take it. And join me for the next game.